Indomitable Lion. Okay, we'll get into that. We'll get.
I was laughing at that. No. Let's start with the UK show. Um, we was there. We saw it live, didn't we? Then at the Boxer show.
Yeah.
We start with Dan Azeez winning the British title.
Hmm.
In emphatic fashion against Hosea Burton. Um, I like the performance. He judged the range, the distance. It was like I don't know that surprise Burton. So I don't know if he thought Aziz was going to be like a typical come forward, right, no brain to it. But he actually had a bit of IQ, Aziz, because his distance was in and out, uh, changing his level as well, dipping low, dipping high, giving Burton different looks, and I think he just couldn't handle it, and in the end he got the stoppage. How did you see? How did you see the fight?
Yeah, as you said, he was changing the levels. From the first round, he surprised me by using able to out jab Burton. But Dan Azeez, even though he's got a shorter height deficit, he does have a very long reach for his height. So he was able to outbox Burton, catching with the right hand, coming on the inside, roughing him up, as well as using the long jab and the long straight right hand. And he was able to wear out Burton a lot quicker than other people have in the past. I know people have spoken about Burton possibly struggling with weight issues or whatnot, but Burton was saying that, his camp was great. I spoke with Joe Gallagher. He was saying that the camp had gone excellent, and he a vast improved fighter since he was British champion the first time round a few years back. So he was expecting to see that. But Dan Azeez, he was dominant. I only gave Burton, one round. That was the second round. Other than that, it was all Dan Azeez, I believe.
All right, so he's got the stoppage. He's picked up the southern area, English, British. Where do we see Dan going down? I saw something about saying he's going to jump in the ring after Lyndon and Yard's fight. He said he's going down there, and I think, well, is it safe to say he's looking at one of them too?
Yeah, well, he's looking at the Commonwealth title, so that's why he's going down there to go and stick it on the winner, because the Commonwealth title's on the line. So he wants to be British and Commonwealth champion, because he wants to go through the stages, i.e. Southern area, English, British, Commonwealth, and then European, I imagine, after that. So Commonwealth's the next step for him, which is a smart look.
Obviously, after his interview, he mentioned a few names, and the typical, the Callum Johnsons, the odds, Lyndon's. I believe that's the only names he mentioned. Am I wrong, Dan?
Yeah. He mentioned, but he was. I don't know if he just couldn't get through all the names, but he just said any light heavyweight in the country. Names he did mention.
All right. So as I said, he's going down there to stick it on that. Whoever wins, he's going to stick it on. Hypothetically speaking, if Yard wins, can you see Dan Azeez winning that fight?
Yeah, it's a winnable fight. It's a winnable fight. He has the style. He's got a good jab. He takes a good shot, which he'll need to do against someone like Yard. And he's willing to mix it up on the inside. So, yeah.
Lyndon, how do you see him going against Lyndon?
Well, Lyndon's got a good jab. We're still yet to see how his right hand's working. He'll need two hands against Dan Azeez, that's for sure. I don't think a jab alone is going to be able to keep someone like Dan Azeez off, who's very bullish, and he's the type who doesn't want to be denied. So Lyndon will need good two arms to stand a chance of keeping Dan Azeez off, really. Otherwise, he'll get sort of out-hustled, I believe. What about yourself?
It is. Lyndon's got a good jab. But I ain't really seen him. Obviously, by his last fight, I ain't really seen him use that right hand. Even like against Dex Spellman, it was like a jab dominant win. If that makes sense. So he doesn't really use the right hand, but I don't know. I'll say that's a 50-50 fight. I can't call it. Now, Azeez has won the British title. I'll call it a 50-50. what I will say is Azeez in the mix now.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I will say.
yeah. Because someone was talking about if say Britain did, you know, series, you'd have a great series, by the way, because this would be the names on the list. So you'd have Dan Azeez, Craig Richard, Joshua Boatsy, Lyndon Arthur, Callum Smith, Callum Johnson, Chakan Pitters, and Anthony Young. Would be 8.
And that's 8 people.
Yeah, that's 8 people.
Yeah, that's a crazy super series.
And that's the top 8 in Britain. So, you know, British boxing for the light heavyweights is flourishing right now. We speak about the heavyweights is flourishing, but the light heavyweights in Britain is flourishing also.
All right, let's move on to the next fight on that card, or the next meaningful card. I believe it was Riakpo versus Duradola.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing his name right?
Duradola.
Duradola, yeah. No, that's a bit shameful for me, that's the time.
Yeah, I was going to say it, but you said it.
So anyway, yeah. So Duradola, he got the stoppage. He picked up the WBC. He picked up the WBC silver title, and well, I'm guessing he's well ranked in the WBC now. I'm guessing we saw Canelo gonna fight Makubu for the WBC cruiserweight title. So I don't know where this leaves Richard Riakpo. But other than that, his performance, we haven't seen Riakpo box. He boxed 8 rounder, was it a month before that? I believe it was, or when was it?
6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago, yeah. So he boxed 6 weeks before that. And how do you see his skills improving from the Jack Massey fight? Have you seen improvement? And because obviously he's changed trainers, he's now Fernandez, the Angel Fernandez. Was it Angel Fernandez?
Yeah. Yeah,
he's with Angel Fernandez, yeah. So I thought I was pronouncing his name wrong. He's with Angel Fernandez. Have you seen any changes? Obviously, I've seen him, he's trying to establish the jab more. Well, in his other fights, he's more looking for power punches and home runs.
Yeah. Shout out Craig Richards and Baller Kai 33. I would say Richard, he was very patient in his fight, too patient for my liking. He could have got the guy out there because he rocked him. You know, at the end of the first round, the guy was sagged back into the ropes. I was expecting the second round he was going to come out and deal with the matter, because I saw the Oluwanri Duradola at the weigh-in the day before. He's
man just slapped the first name there.
I'm putting you to shame. But yeah, his legs looked shot. He was walking like an uncle, holding on to his trainer for support. Myself and another reporter noticed this. October Red, and we was like, oh, legs look kind of like uncleish. So I expect to get rid of him a lot quicker. But Richard was very patient. Richard did get caught in about the 4th round, and the guy, he does have 33 knockouts out of 36 wins, so he does have power. The last thing to go in a man is the power. And
wait, can I please this? What do you mean I put respect? There's fully respect on the name, eh? It's just that, you know, he's just trying to show me up because I'm a fellow Nigerian. He's just showing me up, pronouncing a fellow Nigerian's name. That's why I started laughing. Continue, Dan, sorry.
Yeah. So, he landed the left hook at the beginning of the 5th. Richard did, dropped him, and then put combinations together and finally got him out of there. Could have got him out of there sooner, but he got the job done at the end of the day. And he has been out of the ring for quite a while. So, you know, he's onwards and upwards, and he's on the trajectory. So hopefully he pushes forward. He says, I spoke to him after the fight. He says he's looking to put his name in the hat for Canelo if, seeing Canelo wins the WBC. But I'm sure if Makabu manages to defend, he'll do a all West African showdown with Makabu anyway, which will, always be good. Fellow Niger, should have pronounced it right.
Look at this guy. Yeah, it's just a 1 in a million. It don't happen often. Sorry. But yeah, yeah. Sorry. So you what's the, so you so him and Makabu. How do you see that fight then?
Um, both got power. Who do
Yeah.
you mean, Akpo Makabu or Canelo Makabu?
React for Ash Jones, Ash 23 machine, Ash Jones 23 machine. React for box brilliantly. Him versus Chamberlain would be good.
Yeah, but I doubt that would happen. They're both former Lynn boys, friends.
Mm,
Actually, they was meant to box a couple of years ago. To be fair, Richard did put out the challenge to Chamberlain, but I think it was declined, I believe. But don't
mhm.
quote me. So yeah, it would be a
All
good
right,
fight.
all right. We got RKO 187 says Canelo's trying to get to Bridgerweight.
Yes, I did predict that. I said that if Canelo does beat Ilungi Makabu, that he would go to Bridgerweight and fight Oscar Rivas because Oscar Rivas is not the most nimble and quick of people, so he
Mm,
would outpoint someone like Makabu, but he would have to stay very defensively responsible because one shot it'd be all over.
mm. All right. Let's go to the person who headlined the show at the arena rocking. The Albanian King, um, Florian Marcoux. Welterweight. Be making noise. Like actually making noise. You know, Sony wants everyone. Obviously, it was an 8 round or 6 round? I remember I was looking at the screen. It was like
Hey,
where it was 8 round. Yeah. So it was an 8 rounder. He didn't get the stoppage. The guy was quite game, but you know, he knocked off a couple cobwebs. He fought as well 6 weeks before that, didn't he? Or was it? No, he fought in the zone show, I think it was, wasn't it? What was
yeah,
the fight?
where he won by like a point or 2 points, something like
Yeah,
that. Split decision, something like that.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, so he's been very relatively active. Who do we want to? Who do we want? Marco's just a ticket seller. If he steps up against anyone, anyone to British level, he gets beat. Marco is about to get his.
Come up and
What is that? What does that mean?
Comeuppance means like he's about to get served.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, flipping. Well, is that what people? I don't know. I kind of like him, you know.
Yeah, I like his personality. I did mention to Clifton Mitchell, I said,
Mm.
because he was talking about Conor Ben, but I said, what about Ekal
But that,
Essuman?
but the Nottingham boy.
Yeah, the British champion, the British and Commonwealth
Yeah,
champion.
yeah, come on. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
what are they? What do they say about that?
They said, yeah, that'd be a good fight, but he believes Marku deals with him. So that'd be a good fight to see because
Mm.
that's a Commonwealth champion. So, you know, Ben looks like he's going some other way. So the best bet is
Mm.
for Marku to beat the British and Commonwealth champion. I'm not sure if Albania comes under the Commonwealth, so he can win the Commonwealth title, I believe. If it's
We have to check that. Well, soon it'll be like drink chaps have them people that research that stuff for us.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know if he is. Yo, why or George? Who you lot got winning?
We'll get to that a bit later, the Teofimo George Kambosos prediction.
Yeah.
But big up
Cool.
RTM, realer than most.
All right. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So who do we see Marku beating Connor? Do we see him beating um the British and Commonwealth champion, the Ghanaian guy, Ghanaian boy, isn't he?
Ekal Essuman, I'm not, yeah, I think he's
I
done.
believe, I believe he's Ghanaian. Yeah, if they were still active, Marku versus Johnny Garton would have been a great change. Great
Yeah, that would have been a
change
good
of
pair
another
up.
challenge to test himself.
Big up Inky, the judge and jury is here. But
Yeah, so what am I saying now? So basically, um, who do you want to see Mark in against next? You're saying you want to see him against the British champion.
yeah,
I don't want to see it. I want to see the Conor Ben fight.
yeah, I
I
do.
reckon. I personally believe that will be competitive. But yeah, I believe so, man. Because after Conor again, seeing Conor against Granados, wasn't too pleasing on the eye to say that to say that much. Like, it wasn't really pleasing the eye. Granada still even looked like he was trying, and Connor still couldn't land. Obviously, I know what people say when you come there to survive, negative, whatnot. It's more harder to get the person out of there, but he still wasn't landing that much either.
Yeah, he was struggling to land. Oh, and another person I would like to see Marku and Ben against is Mr. Trickster himself, is Michael McKinson. Now that would be
He went. He after he beat Chris, he had another fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
I believe he did. And yeah, so I don't know when we will be seeing him out next, but oh, I like that. Yeah, Marku versus Luther Clay. That's definitely a match I would want to watch. Definitely. I like Luther Clay. He definitely gives these away every match I've seen him in. But I've forgotten man's Chris Congo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot. Obviously, he lost to Mickinson. I don't know if that's making him the forgotten man, but he needs to get back in the mix as well, Chris Congo.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's he's forgotten, man. He's he'll yeah. There's some things we can't really get into, but there's some reasons why he's.
No, obviously, yeah. Some people know what's going on in the back end, but not the fans, right? The fans, they don't remember Chris Congo. Someone mentioned his name now. Chris Congo needs to get back on the right track. Exactly what I was saying. Luther K is a very good fighter. Gave Congo a great fight, and he also needs to bounce back like Congo. Yeah. So like until we need to get Congo back in the ring as soon as, because I believe he's in the mix. Obviously he lost to McKinson, but I still believe he's in the mix. Because the fight, it wasn't like a full schooling. You know, it's just one of them fights. When that happens, the best versus the best. So,
yeah.
But yeah. So Marku, he had a great performance. Well, was it great? Would you call it great? It was good, steady performance. You know, done what you had to do. I'll call it that. Yeah, steady. Done what you had to do, and now we're gonna move on to what everyone wants to talk about, man.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford versus Showtime Shawn Porter. McKinson just performed to a game plan and had a great night. Congo wasn't his best.
Fair enough.
That's why I did. I said steady. He's I know the hustle. Are you talking about when I said great Marku performance? I switched up to steady, man. Not trying to help me like that. But yeah, let's switch it to Bud Crawford versus Showtime Shawn Porter. Obviously, the match that's been touted before this match happened, that all the fans want to see, is Terence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence, the Truth Jr. Obviously, Errol's fought Porter before this, so obviously this was always going to be, what's the word, comparing. Everyone's always going to do the comparing act. You know what I'm saying? He got the stoppage. Crawford got the stoppage. Does everyone believe that fight should have been stopped? Does everyone believe that Shawn Porter wasn't in his right state of mind, or like his legs wasn't beneath him, or this? I need to know what everyone's views. I need to get a consensus of what everyone's thinking, because I'll tell you my views. And he got dropped twice. I think he would have stopped the fight. I think he would have finished the fight. Sorry. Some people think he wouldn't have, so I believe he would have, because even when he walked back to the corner and you can see the conversation of his dad, it's like Porter's a very respectful guy. You can tell like he's got home trainers so he wanted to react a certain way, but because of his character and the respect he has for his dad, he didn't. If that makes sense. I believe he would have finished the fight. Pugilist thinks Shawn was done, but that don't look like somebody that's done to me. Someone banging the floor in crazy frustration. That looks like somebody who wants to go. I don't know what everyone else takes on that, but
I'll give you my take.
Mm.
The last person I see banging on the canvas was a man who was done in Oscar De La Hoya when he got that body shot from Bernard Hopkins. So banging on the canvas and going in a rage. You know when you get. You know when you get
Yeah.
when I was even in a school fight when a brother gets
Mm.
broke up and he starts going mad and crying and he says, "Oh, I'm crying out of anger and rage." No, he got hurt.
Yeah, yeah, but he was hurt, but he got up and he was ready to go. The referee asked him, "Are you ready to go?" He said, "Yes." He said, "What?
Yeah,
What are you even talking about?"
yeah, but the fighter spirit in him is gonna say yes. But the way he got up the
Yeah,
second
but
time, his legs were stiffened.
it weren't that. It weren't. It was. It weren't the way you're talking stiffened. It's like he was totally out of it. He weren't totally out of it.
No, but he was
Porter
gonna get.
didn't, Porter didn't punch him and his legs stiffened. He just obviously got punched down in it, like. But put the like if I'm just going by the fact what the fighter who it is. It was another fighter, I would have said yeah, cool, whatever. But Porter and the man he is and the fights we've seen from him, I believe he would have finished that fight. RKO is saying Porter's head was gone. I think Kenny knew once the game plans out the window, Porter would have been in trouble. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he was already in trouble. He was in trouble. He was in trouble from the two knockdowns.
yeah,
Was
and there
he?
was so much time left in the round because the first knockdown came in at two. The first one came in at 2 minutes 50. Then the second one, you're looking at about a 2 minute mark. So he was he going to survive another 2 minutes to survive not getting a free knockdown rule in effect? I don't think he would have. You know.
2 rounds left, and it's Porter. He has wars.
Yeah, he came in the
That,
Marvin Hagler gear, so he was ready for
yeah,
war. But
yeah,
he
yeah.
agreed
That's
about.
what I'm saying. Like Porter's been like, there's been times he's been hurt in matches, and obviously he ain't been dropped. But yeah, he got dropped. He got hurt, but he was he was ready to go. He's just
No, he's
Porter.
been drunk. And I'll give you a reason because a lot of people talking about, oh, Terence Crawford's going to smash Errol Spence and this and that, and he did this and he did that, and he did what Errol Spence couldn't do. All right, someone said
Right,
that.
wait, wait. Let's go get. So it's cool. We'll get to that, Dan. Chill. Dan's is ready to back his boy. Like, yeah. All right, cool. Now that's been said, let's forget all that. Okay, Bud got the stoppage. He dropped first.
Wait, Ash 2023 Porter retired now 2 times. I know the hustle. He got dropped by Broner. Yep. Ash Machine Crawford
Like,
breaks.
wait, Dan. When he got dropped by Broner, that was like a more of a tang of the legs and the check hook, so it didn't really affect him. But he got back up and he stopped. He continued fighting. That was in the, I think it was that 11th or 12th round.
12th round. This is I know the hustle mentioned that.
Yeah, yeah, but the reason I'm saying that because I don't know if you're trying to do a comparison, but I wouldn't really compare that because, like I said, Broner was just a tangle defeat and a nice punch.
No, it
Um,
weren't Tango with feet. Uh,
well, Broner thingy,
no, he came out laxy daisy and
and he
Broner
stepped on his
leapt
feet
in.
as well.
I leapt in with a lead left hook, and that's why Porter started running around for the rest of the round. That
Nah,
was a lot of concentration. Watch
he
the
just
fight.
wanted to finish. But I'll get that clip up for you after this. Um, Crawford one wasn't that bad.
Shout out
Cool.
Barry Jones.
So yeah,
You're welcome.
I know the hustle. What's your stance? What are you saying? Early stoppage.
Barry Jones, what did you think about the Shawn Porter, Terence Crawford stoppage? Did you think Kenny was in the right, or do you think it was too early? And
Is that Barry Jones, the coach?
no, the former world champion boxer.
Bruno was
Heavyweight.
one.
Yeah, RKO 187, lead left hook from Broner, no trip. Come on, you know
Yeah.
this. You can pull it up, man. Pull up the footage, man.
I apologize. See, so yeah, Kenny did right. So Kenny didn't stop the fight then, but
Nah,
maybe
but
because he fought because it was who it is.
No,
You know?
and also Shawn Porter won every round. He won all the 11 rounds before that.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, is it about winning or protecting your son, like you said?
No, well, but he knew Shawn. That was the first time Shawn had been dropped as well. And Barry Jones said he could have continued, but knows his fighter. But his dad knows his fighter. That's very true. Your dad knows your best. Shout out Javan. Shout out Guava Juice inside. So, what's the next question for the people?
The next question is, who wins, Errol Spence or Terence Crawford? Everyone needs to answer. We need to see what people are saying. We need to see what the fans are saying.
Yeah.
Daddy.
Daddy. Oh, funny. So, yeah, who you got, guys? You got Terence Crawford or Errol Spence because I'm imagining it's going to happen next year because Terence Crawford has now left. Well, his contract expires with Top Rank.
Crawford, damn. Three Crawfords, damn.
Okay.
Three Crawfords, damn. Shit, don't pass out then. Don't pass out.
No, that's cool, but I'm going to break down why that's not going to happen.
All right, go. Crawford, 10-11, what? It was a beast, but Crawford got skills.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, and I know everyone, they're basing it off of that last fight, but it's good. But I'm gonna break down.
We got one Errol. We got one Errol.
Okay.
Another Errol over here.
Okay.
I think Spence first couple rounds involved, then Crawford steps it up. Ooh, Ash Jones, 23 machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and anyone else? Okay,
Anyone else?
Sickers in the building.
Yeah.
So everyone needs to pick. Everyone needs to pick either Crawford or Errol Spence. We've got like 5 Crawfords and only one Errol Spence so far.
Mm-hmm.
Crawford all day. So that's 7-1. So that's 7 Crawfords.
Shout out Callum Smith, Mr. Mondo. What's you got any plans for your next fight yet, champ? How's it going?
Spence gets touched by Brooke. Ooh, Spence got touched by Brooke. Errol body shots will be mad for him. The winner of the winner of the fans if it happens. We got like 8 Crawfords.
Yeah, it's a Crawford. It's a Crawford prediction from the fans. I understand that.
So now the fans have spoken. They're saying Crawford wins this. So is it safe to say Errol's the underdog?
Yeah, he's the underdog going into the fight, which is good. I like that.
Oh, we've got another Crawford. So this is like 10-1 or something.
Yeah. It's pro Crawford, which is understandable.
Pro Crawford. 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 That's like 10-1. So, all right. So, Dan, do you want to break it down for them? Tell them why Errol Spence ain't gonna win. He's gonna win this fight.
Well, before I do, who do you have winning?
I got Errol Spence. I just said that.
Oh, okay.
My hand up like this.
Okay, now I'm gonna break down because a lot of you guys are getting excited about the Terence Crawford win over Shawn Porter. Okay, now we're gonna break down some things. Why Crawford beat a done Shawn Porter. One, Shawn Porter said that he was going to retire after the Errol Spence fight. He knew before the Spence fight, after Errol Spence, he was going to retire. So that's a man whose mind's already out of fire, already in retirement. His dad said he was ready to throw in the towel leading up to the fight because he noticed in training, he's looking up at the clock, he's not listening to instructions, he's not the Showtime. Let's go to some statistical facts. Shawn Porter's punch resistance has been waning for the last couple of years. He has been dropped 5 times in his past 9 fights. He has been dropped 4 times in his past 4 fights. 4 times in his past 4 fights, he's been on the deck. Remember, he got dropped by Broner 9 fights ago. 4 fights ago, he got dropped by Ugas in the 12th. Then he got dropped by Errol Spence 3 fights ago. Then he got dropped by Crawford twice. So
wait, hold on, wait, Dan. I'm gonna have to stop you there. He didn't get dropped by Ugas. He slipped.
No. He didn't slip. The ref called it.
Wait, Dan. We gotta go about what's officially been told, Dan. We can't, we gotta go about protocol. Dan. What did the ref give it, Dan?
It don't matter. Sometimes the ref get it wrong. We know this. We've seen knockdowns which the ref get wrong, where they call it a slip.
Yeah, it was. The one that's coming to mind is Kambosos and Terence Crawford.
There you go. Where Terence Crawford was blatantly decked, and they ruled it a slip. But it weren't a slip. So his punch resistance has been going for the past couple of fights, 3 fights now. He's been on the deck 4 times in these past 4 fights. He's in his last 3 fights. He's 1-2. He's lost 2, 1-1. His last win was what? For Sebastian Formella, someone who Conor Benn bashed up, probably a bit better than him, you know. So this is a man who's on the slide. It's just like if Errol Spence fought Manny Pacquiao and dealt with him like he was gonna do, then yes, it would have looked great on paper. But we know this is a faded Manny Pacquiao at the end of the day. Just like Ugas beat him, but we know this weren't Pac-Man. So someone was trying to say that Shawn Porter hits harder than Errol Spence. Shawn Porter's only got a 47% knockout ratio. He ain't really a power puncher like that. He's very aggressive, very game and determined. Errol Spence is a man who breaks people down. Terence Crawford, his chin, even in the Porter fight, he was getting touched up a bit. He was looking a bit early doors, a bit shaky, a bit, you know. If Errol starts landing them big body shots,
just to play devil's advocate, people say, what did you say? He was getting touched up in the early rounds. Sorry. People say Crawford downloads data and he takes like 2 to 3 rounds off to work out and download the data as they say. I thought I'd just throw that in there. What do you say to that, like, to people? Yeah,
he can be downloading data, but he was getting backed up and rocking and rolling. Not rocking and rolling, but he was visibly getting affected by some of these Shawn Porter shots. Now, when Errol Spence hits him with the truth bombs, we're gonna see how Bud gets lit up. Trust me, when Errol gets to work, we're gonna see.
Yeah, because obviously I talked to another one of my mates. Terence Crawford, and he was saying that you see the way Shawn Porter was falling in, that Errol Spence will be doing the same thing.
Errol Spence will be. Shout out Nick Manners. Shout out, big up, coach. What did you say? When who falls in?
The way Shawn Porter was falling in and kept getting turned, and my mate said that Errol would be doing the same thing.
Yeah, Errol will be doing the sweeping right hand with the uppercut, because they throw similar shots. That same shot, they like to throw it to the body, the uppercut. It's like how
who throws similar shots, right?
Errol and Crawford.
All right, cool.
You know, when people lunge in, they throw the hook and then the body shot. It's how Crawford done that in Danu.
In Dungo for the undisputed 140.
Yeah. And he hit Porter with the same shot to drop him. So Errol likes to throw that shot too, obviously from southpaw stance. So with the right hook with the left uppercut, into the body or the head. So if Crawford does come forward, which Errol Spence has been known to sometimes fall over his front foot now and again also. So they both need to be careful.
Okay. So
Nick Manners says
RKO. Well, before Nick, RKO said Crawford was holding and walking down Porter.
And so was Spence. Nick Manners says, I don't think Errol has the feet to deal with Crawford or the variety of punches, in my opinion. That's a fair assessment. But Crawford does like to get into scraps and brawls. He's quite easily drawn into a fight. He has that fiery head, and that would play into Errol's hands because we know Errol loves close quarters action, and that will make it very exciting.
But he has also showed boxing skills like he did against Mikey Garcia. Just for I'll let you know.
Of course.
He can do it if he wants. So.
Oh, of course he can. But I think the better boxer would be Crawford.
Yeah.
Also the thing what will be the most difficult about Crawford is that he's able to box ambidextrous. He can box in southpaw very well as he can orthodox. The only person I know who can do that is the young Jaron Ennis.
Yeah, so basically, but I don't think that would affect Errol too much because obviously he's used to fighting right-handed, and also I think when you're fighting your own, what do you call it?
Mirror.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more easier, or not easier, but it seems to be a bit more better.
No, it's not easier because I was a southpaw. When you fight southpaw, because you're not used to fighting southpaw, even though it's a mirror, because you're not used to fighting a particular style, it's always difficult. That's why when they say two southpaw fighters don't really gel well, because it's like two people cancelling each other. The southpaw tends to normally try and be a counter puncher, but so when you have two southpaws, it's on paper it's not really a good fight. But there has been recently a lot of good two southpaw fighters, i.e. Shakur Stevenson and Jamel Herring. But yeah, I think the ability of Crawford able to box in both stances is going to be a major jigsaw if he does utilize both stances, because getting good quality sparring for people in both stances is going to be difficult. That's what the main factor I think will be. Can Errol deal with a man switching mid-fight effectively?
We got Graham Sick is asking who's Spence going to fight if not Crawford. I believe he should be fighting guy. I'm still going to say Gamboa.
Your Dennis Ugas.
Ugas, sorry, that's it, for the WBA title, unified WBC and IBF, I believe so.
And that will be in March, and then that way he will have 3 belts. Crawford will have 1, and they'll look to make it an undisputed belt. With saying that Errol wins that 3rd belt, he will be looking to get his 60-40 split, which he's been dying for. And Crawford will have to play ball because he'll probably be signing over to PBC as the new fish in the big pond, where Errol Spence calls himself Big Fish. So he's going to have to adhere to the rules and regulations.
All right, cool. No, the Hustle says Errol's low gravity game way better, but Crawford's got skills. But I really want to know what Bud does with Errol's body shots. How do you reply to that?
Well, Crawford so far hasn't shown any vulnerability to the body. But it will be interesting to see how he deals with it. But as we know, as Nick Manners has just said, when Errol goes to the body, Crawford may be able to take advantage to the head, which he does like to do, because Crawford does throw them sort of wing-in hooks as a man does try to lower himself, I notice. Take advantage of the head. Bud is sharp and can pick a shot very well. Very true. Bless up. I'm going to go, but enjoy listening to you. Thank you very much, Nick. Much respect. Yeah, Errol does have to be careful if he does come in low for the body shots, but I think he'll come in close. He can't be firing body shots from out of range, because he does have long arms, and when he catches you at the end of them long shots, that's where the damage is done. I haven't really seen him show power with short range shots, like short hooks and short. It's the long ones when he catches you at the end. It's sort of like, like them guys like Freezy, them bangers. They like to catch you with long shots. They're not good with short shots. So Errol needs to stay close, and he'll take this power out. Whereas Errol is good at short shots, I notice.
All right. Why Spence entitled to more? Bud's an animal. Don't think he can be hurt. That's from Joe Van Young.
Everyone could be hurt, and Bud's been hurt. Bud's been dropped. He got hurt by Gamboa as well.
Mm.
His legs did some shakings in that fight.
All right. Dan Crawford blatantly underestimating Crawford. Huh? Oh no,
No,
sorry, Spence underestimating Crawford. That's why I know Bud will win. You believe
no,
that?
no. He's definitely not underestimating him. That's why he's saving him till last, because it's like Bisto best. You always save the best till last. That's why he's going on the strap season thing. Even when they met up in that in the corridor, when Errol was in the red tracksuit and Terence was in the black Versace tracksuit, he even said, "Oh, Shawn Porter got a title, so why not get him first?" And then he goes, "I get you last." So he's already. So for you to tell a man you want him last, that means you rate him as the highest. That's like fighting M. Bison.
Mm. Mm. All right. I know the hustle said, "I told you he's got rocky legs." None talking about him. No one's talking about his rocky legs. In Crawford, he's saying, "Do you?" Well, I saw his legs do a little dance against Kambosos. That's the only significant time I could remember when his leg has done a little dance. Unless you can remind us, know the rules. No, that was right.
Yeah, apart from he got dropped by that Karolowski guy, but he shows great recovery. Even if his legs does go, he's shown great recovery, because when his legs did go against Gamboa, what did he do? He came straight back and dropped Gamboa. So
Stopped him.
yeah. So he's able to fight hurt. He's able to show quick recovery, and he's able to turn the tide, as he was able to stop Kowalowski in the the 7th or 9th round. So he's shown comeback ability, which is a sign of a true champion. Mayweather got badly rocked against Shane Mosley, and then what did he go and do? He beat the rubbish out of him for the rest of the fight. He got hurt by DeMarcus Corley. He dropped him about 4 or 5 times after that. He got hurt by Zab Judah. He beat him up for the rest of the fight.
Well, that first 4 rounds, Zab Judah's doing his thing. All right, let's get RKO says he was drained versus Gamboa. Yeah, I agree to that.
Yeah, RKO knows his boxing, man. Well,
Yeah.
RKO, I like that.
You waved. Oh no, sorry, brother. When Errol had rocky legs, I believe I agree with that as well.
Never.
But against Gamboa, he was a lightweight at 5'10". Okay, basically
He's
saying
not
the
5'10",
drained as well.
5'8" and a half.
So when was Errol had rocky legs? Can anyone? Basically, when has Errol ever been hurt or looking like he's in big trouble?
Can anyone attest to that? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so I believe people are probably going to say Shawn Porter's match. I believe.
Nah, he weren't hurt then. He weren't ever hurt in that fight.
A question: who do you think Porter hurt more in the 2 matches? Would you say he hurt Bud more, or would you say he hurt the Truth more?
Good question.
Ocampo caught him with a good shot. Watch the tape.
That's what Terence said. Oh, you got hurt by Ocampo. No, he didn't. Did you see what Errol did to that guy?
Yeah.
He did.
I'm even trying to... What round? Didn't he finish him in 1 round?
He was like, or 2? 1 or 2?
I think it was 1 round, half a round at best.
Yeah, so that's why because when he said that, I went onto YouTube. Because I remember watching that fight when it happened and I didn't see it. So then when Terence said it, I went onto YouTube to try and see where it happened and I couldn't see it.
Yes.
The fight was over.
False narratives.
Yeah, the fight was over before it started. That was it blew him away.
So it's a dog against Bud's skills. So who wins, skills or dog? That's funny still. But yeah, no one answered my question. Who got more hurt in
each respective fights. Did Shawn Porter hurt Bud more, or did he hurt Errol Spence more?
Yeah, let us know.
You got Bo CB. Bo, thanks for joining the live. Bo CB.
Yep.
He said, yeah, that's an Errol fan. You think Errol got hurt more?
Really?
So a lot. Errol was catching a lot of punches in close quarters. What people were thinking he was getting hit by, in my personal opinion.
But he did ship a lot of hooks, though, to be fair. But that's because Errol decided to stand and trade rather than try and box. Because Errol said afterwards that he wanted to beat Shawn at his own game. Because he could have opted to outbox him more.